Hey, sorry I'm late. Had another one just before and couldn't make it in time. How's everyone doing?
Welcome.
I think we haven't had one of these in a while. Um, Mainly my fault. The last one I couldn't make it, so then I forgot to cancel it. So apologies for that. Um, okay, let me start by sharing my screen as always. Uh, this is the CPU. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so as always, welcome to the FireFly Community Call, September. As always, just obeying the antitrust policy notice for the Linux Foundation, where we might have industry competitors. Suggest we have to make sure we follow this antitrust policy notice and that everyone's welcome on the call. And that this call is being recorded. So if you feel like you don't want to be part of this call, please do feel free to leave now. So I think for today, the agenda, I didn't have anything specific. I know we released 1.4 last month, which included the Cardano connector. Last month, a month and a bit ago, sorry, for July. I think we spoke about that one 2 months ago. And the only thing was I raised the quarterly reports. So people are not aware. Sorry, I'm trying to open it. If people are not aware, as part of here we go. So hopefully you can see GitHub. Maybe it's a lot. Yeah. As part of every quarter, we just write a little report. Since not much has happened in the last month or so, I kind of already knew what was included in the report, but this is for the whole quarter. So the main milestone is 1.4. Talked a little bit about the Cardano connector, some of the fixes we've done, some of the updates across the board, and just shared a bit of the stats. If people are interested, by the way, I don't know if I've shared it, but you can go to the LFX Insights, and you can see a little bit about. Okay, go come, that didn't work. Fly. You can go and find a little bit about the insights from stuff. And I think one of the things that I highlight in the report, and I think thanks Alexei for all the PRs on this around the scorecard score. If I go into security best practices, there are some scorecard numbers that we need to bump up. Scorecard being the workflow that we run continuously on our repos to check different levels of security best practices. So that might be like pinning versions or fixing CVEs or settings around branches in the GitHub repo. And I noticed that actually it went down. Sorry, I'm not zooming in enough, but it went down a little bit from 7.9 last quarter to 7.5. So we might have to make some changes there to make sure we have a better score. But yeah, apart from that, not much in this. I did get information from Blockfrost, which was the company that ran the July of Code, around the winners. So maybe I'll share that in Discord. There were some really cool projects built on top of the Cardano connector. I don't know, Simon, if you've had a look at those.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Cool. Okay, let me share.
Where is that?
Let me share that. Malek, I think the CEO of Blockfuss, telegrammed me a few weeks ago, I think it was, with the winners, and he shared the GitHub repositories. Most of them are open source. I think all of them are open source, actually. So I'll share that. But there were some cool projects that were submitted to the July of Code. For those that were, it was a hackathon run by the Cardano community, and they presented the winners at a conference called Rariba, which is a big conference in the Cardano community. I think apart from that, I don't have anything else. Of course, I mentioned that Sunday Labs is now part of the maintainers at a different company, thanks to Simon becoming maintainer. But yeah, that was about it. I guess I'll open it up to folks to see what they have to discuss today.
Yes, actually, I mentioned one minor thing at Discord some time ago. Raised PR, which update security file for FireFly, and here one of point of this security team, and we need a few voluntaries who will join this. And I can mention that this PR. Like, I don't think it's much work for such persons, but still, you can take a look at Discord. I mentioned the PR here, not edit the agenda. So feel
Okay,
free
cool.
to join.
1 second. Let me open that up. Why is it not working? Sorry, it's opening the wrong window. Yeah, so I think I had the PR open. Oh, I had the PR open a different window. This one, yeah? Yeah. So I think this is something that we've had open for a while. I agree. Thanks, Alexei, for bringing this up again. One of the things that happened when the rename from Hyperledger to the LFTT was that in one of the core repos that they have in the governing documents, they have like the standard for security. So documenting how your project accepts reporting of vulnerabilities, for example. And one of the things that they outline in this sample document is to have a security team which kind of maintains this and handles the reports. It was really funny, Alexei, that in this PR under area and specialty for me, you put everything, which is quite funny because I don't think I'm an expert in everything. But I think maybe given we don't have a lot of maintainers on the call today, I think maybe just tag with @FireFly maintainers on Discord, Alexei, and let's get people. We need at least 3 project maintainers, which would be good. And I think it'd be good to have a diversity of project maintainers in the security team. And then the thing we need to do is there is a specific tab here under security where people can, oh, if it's here, no, new security advisory. It comes up under here, whatever we update, it comes up under this file. But there is also, let me see if I go back. Make sure that people can report. There is a link where people can report the security. Where was it? Making sure that works across all repos. So, report. Yeah, I can't find it now. But basically, Alexei, where people can actually also
It was mentioned some email, I think.
Is it
and
email?
as for actually it was both. I see GitHub security vulnerabilities. This is private reports and security vulnerabilities.
Yeah, I think there was a place where people could submit vulnerability disclosure. I think it should be front and center of this document, but I can't see it. So that might be something to enhance here. Should be like top of the thing should be how do I report the vulnerability.
Actually, here mentioned email, I think, to report the security. Email the LF Decentralized Foundation security list. Security list LF
If the report
Decentralized
was
Alert
received.
to report a security issue, please send an email with the name of the project.
The email is a community architects. Okay, so it goes to the community architects. Okay, so it has to go through an email and then the team gets called. Look, I'm learning, doing a bit of learning and refresh memory when I reviewed this.
Mhm.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. So FYI Rye, is this still the correct process? Just to make sure we're doing the right thing, okay? Because he normally handles these email lists. Yeah, but then there's also the GitHub one. That's what I was saying. There we go. So open a GitHub security report, open a draft security advisory on the security tab. Okay, so if I open a new private window, for example, I know you can't see it because I was only sharing that. Let me just try on my side. If I open a private window, go to the security tab, I can report the vulnerability. Okay, that's it, right? So I think let's just make sure that email section is correct with Brian. So let's see what he answers. But I think the second section is what I was expecting. So it's basically this. You go up here in security, where I was earlier. I can't see it because I'm obviously logged in, but normally you get a bottom at the top right that says, please submit a security. This is just an advisory, but on our side, this is the way we would answer, but we would get them here, whatever they've submitted. Here, see report vulnerability, sorry, this one. Yeah, under advisories, yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's Alexei, let's tag people on Discord. And I'll make sure to chase people up to see who wants to become a part of the security team. And help with that. I think, and then making sure that each repository, I don't know if other repositories like, for example, Tezos, you also have a security tab, you do. So I don't know if we should have a decision on all the security advisors should go to the main FireFly repo. So it's easier for us to triage. But that means that maybe only maintainers of the core FireFly repo can see them. Because I don't think, Alexa, you can see this, right? If you go to security on FireFly, can you see this section?
Let me check quickly.
Okay, so maybe we need to discuss that. Is it like a per repo one? Because obviously each repo has different frameworks and technologies, right? Like for example, the Cardano one is written in Rust, so you might see Rust CVEs or security problems directed to the Cardano might make more sense than having it all in one repo, but it'll just be harder to track across repos. I have also seen other projects, so this might be a good insight. There's a move that we might have to do before the end of the year, which is to transition all the repositories into its own GitHub organization. I think I mentioned this months ago. But the idea is that there would be a Hyperledger FireFly organization that's already been created. And in here, we might want to think, okay, so things like this, like security vulnerabilities that are like project level, we could have a repo for security policies where everyone raises their vulnerabilities there, they're reporting there. That can be another option when we transition to an organization for FireFly. Did you manage to access that, Alexei, and test if you can see it?
Yes, I can see report vulnerability. This
You can see it.
I can see this button.
But can you see the same view I have here?
Nope, it's different. I see
Right.
the button, yeah, the green button, report vulnerability, and
And then you have the security
yes.
MD, right? File that shows up.
Overview. Actually, overview is the same as for policy. Let me see. Policy is the same. Hyperledger security policy, reporting security bug. Like
Okay.
the same.
So I assume you get the view that anyone without access would get. Okay, cool. So that's fine. So I think that means that for now, maybe we should put in that security MD to report. Maybe let's just amend that PR that you raised. So if we go back to FireFly, let's make sure that any security vulnerability that is actually should be at the each repo level. So we discussed it in the community call, that we should specify that if raised through GitHub, it should be raised in the specific repository of the component where the vulnerability was found. Ooh. And I think just make sure to correct the name of the project, because the project is actually correct spelling to Hyperledger. FireFly with the second F is capital. That's the actual correct name. I know here it doesn't show up, but on documents like this one, it should be like that. All right, thanks Alexei for raising that. I will add it to the agenda details now that we've done it. So talked about the security team and the security MD contents. And I think there's an action on Alexei to raise a Discord thread. Please tag FireFly maintainer list to get enough people on the security team. Okay, cool. Any other topics people want to raise?
Speaking of the security MD contents, and speaking of those scorecards, is there any work that needs to be done for the Cardano repo now that it's kind of officially out there?
So the way I see it is the scorecard today, the score is measured on the main repo, because things like security MD, you don't want to have to duplicate this everywhere. But it's up to you, Simon, if you want to have the scorecard running in the connector for Cardano. I know Alexei has put in Tezos. I think it's a good thing to have, but I think I wouldn't make it like mandatory for all the repos to have a scorecard score. And I think as well, because I think this number here that gets aggregated, I don't believe it comes from multiple repos. I believe it only comes from, for example, it does come from FireFly Cardano. Do you have the scorecard running?
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so maybe something to look if you already have it running. What I understood is if we go to just the actions and we go to, where is this non-independent bot? Scorecard supply chain security last week. Okay, runs weekly. I assume the artifact that gets uploaded is per is
Run
it place
analysis,
right?
maybe?
No, I think it's I put it in the README. Yes, here in the README I put the thing. So this one here is for the repo, which is the main one. Oh, there you go, vulnerability. So we have vulnerabilities with branch protection, and a few things that we need to fix. So I think this is like the main score for the project that I will use when doing the report. If there isn't a tool out there that can aggregate scorecard reports across repos. Maybe that's something I'll raise in the TAC. Since I'm a member of it, I can raise it with the folks to see if it's the score of one or not, of one repo or multiple repos.
I wonder where
up
that
to you, Simon.
80% came from. I just want to make sure there's no outstanding work that we didn't know about. I don't want to get surprised by it or anything.
No, I would let you know ahead of time, but I don't know where this 80%. I think it might be, if I select FireFly Cardano here, you have the same. Yeah, you see, these are the contributors to just that repository. The
So
popularity.
it's just detecting it from publicly visible GitHub stuff.
Yes, exactly. But I normally look at all. I don't know. Yeah, for example, if I look at Tezos, I remove the Cardano one, it'll be the same thing, right? Oh, this one has less. There's no data available. That's interesting. I don't know why. Also, it's quite funny. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but looking at the software value on the right-hand side of how much FireFly has an estimate constructive cost model of the value of the whole project. That was interesting when I was writing the report. I saw that and I was like, oh, okay, that's fun.
Number.
Big number, yeah, important project. We want to grow it. What else on this? Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'll write it here at least. Um, Simon asked about scorecard in the FireFly Cardano repo. Mandatory, but a good thing to have. That's how I see it. So if at some point you want to get to it, Simon, feel free. It's very, very simple. It's one GitHub action and it's done. It takes 5 minutes to raise a PR. And then it's up to you if you want to make some adjustments that might be useful to detecting vulnerabilities and stuff in the repo.
Yeah, I did see Dependabot has been working well there. It points out when something's bad and offers to fix it, which is nice.
Yeah, I think the Dependabot is good. I've started to see a lot of PRs generated through Snyk, which is another tool, through Jessica, and that one has a problem with DCO checks. So I always struggle. I have to rebase the PR and amend commits generated by the Snyk bot. So I'm gonna try and disable that if possible and just rely on Dependabot because I found it quite useful across the board.
Oh,
All right.
by the way, I think that my name is spelled wrong in that TAC report.
Is it?
Yeah.
They spell it? Oh yes, it. Why did we get? Where did I get that name from?
There
Oh,
is a guy,
I'm just missing the G.
yeah, there is a guy out there named Simon G. Ellis. He lives in the UK somewhere. He's some kind of salesman, and sometimes he thinks that my Gmail address is his Gmail address.
That is quite funny. Okay. Sorry, can I commit directly? Oh, that's pretty good. Wow,
Yeah, smart of it.
that is smart. There you go. Smart,
Thanks.
smart. No worries. Thanks for pointing that out. I hope in the actual wiki, if I go to maintainers, I have written your name correctly. No, it's also wrong. That's why I took it from. There you go. Sorry, Simon.
It happens.
And that's your email. That's correct, right?
Yep.
Cool. Quite a flex to have a Simon at Sunday email.
Not really. Simon is a relatively unusual name in the US. And my company is so small, we're just now dealing with the first case of hiring two people with the same first name.
Yeah, actually, Simon, I was going to mention, I'll mention here. I met the maintainers and creators of, well, one of the founders of TXPipe, which is obviously the guys behind Balius, which is the framework that I use for Cardano, the Cardano connector. And they were super happy. They're like, oh yeah, cool, check it out. They send them links about FireFly Cardano, and they were talking to me about the new tooling they have. As I was chatting to Pi about it just over Discord. I think it's called T3 or something. What was it called?
TX3. I've been
TX3.
yeah, that's going to make it way easier to work with.
Yeah, so maybe in the future we can have a conversation if that's something you're thinking in the next rev of changes in the Cardano connector whenever you get to, if that's something that makes sense to use. But yeah, we had a really good conversation about
It makes
what
a
they
lot
do.
of sense, but once it's available, they've been developing it, but they haven't integrated it to Balius yet.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. So it's a complete separate framework.
Yeah, which Balius is going to be one of several things consuming it.
Gotcha, because Balius is the headless part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, it was really good conversation with him. I really enjoyed it. All right. Anything else? I see Angelina here. I will review your FireFly CLIPR. I've just been really busy with other stuff, but thanks for the contribution there. I think once we get that CLIPR in, we can get your end-to-end test fix in.
Okay, sounds good. I left you a message in Discord, so whenever you have a moment, just let me know how you want to proceed from there.
Sounds good. Let me know also if you want to pick up other issues. I think there's a few other issues in the board, if you're interested.
Yeah, I'll happily take those up. I'll take a look at the board and see what else I can take on.
Cool. I'll do an action after this call. I think there's a few good first issues that might be worth picking up.
Okay.
All right. If there's nothing else, I'll close the call there. And keep you back half an hour.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thanks
Yeah.
all. Catch you later.